Hey nerds! It's Geeks of Cascadia. Geeks of Cascadia. Geeks of Cascadia. Exclusive tabletop game podcast for the Pacific Northwest. All levels of gamers. Analog gaming. Tabletop news. Dungeons and Dragons and magic. Stupid, mindless bet.
There will definitely be some bet. That's probably our best.
That's
our best.
Hey, geeks! Blue Samurai here, and I am with.
I'm Rebeculous, and then there's
I'm still
this guy.
Paul.
Hey, welcome to episode Geeks of Cascadia. We haven't been around.
Welcome to episode Geeks of Cascadia.
Yes, it's an episode of Geeks of Cascadia. It's been 3 months since you've last heard or seen from us.
Which episode is it?
Apologize. I'm not. I think it might be 75. It might be 76. I'm really not sure because when Paul puts up the episode, he doesn't put the episode number.
I don't.
And I do.
For the internet.
But the fact of the matter is, we've been away. We apologize. We've had some family events that happened, and then job things.
And I had a baby.
My work stuff has been so taxing.
Yes, and Rebeculous had a baby. So really, we're so proud. Good.
I forgot about that.
Awesome.
Is it still in the car?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, maybe.
You and one Jessica. I don't know. Sure. Okay. Whatever name you're gonna give it. Anyway,
Jessica Wisher. I'm gonna call her Samurai.
Baby
after
Jessica.
you.
Actually, it was a new pet you got,
Jessica.
right?
Say what?
Wasn't it a new pet you got?
Oh, I did. I did get a new pet.
That's what I'm talking about. Your baby.
She's not. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's what I was talking about too. Yeah, she's not here. We got a little dog. We named her Frankie because she's a little tomboy. And in case you didn't notice, I am too.
Really?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I know. All my little feminine wiles have fooled you all these years.
All those skirts I've seen you in.
All those skirts. Yep. But yeah,
Well,
no, I know it's been a while.
It has been a while, but
Dry your tears, friends, audience. We are back.
and you're probably like, well, I haven't had any game news or con news for 3 months, but luckily we have Paul here to tell you the con news.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Still don't have any game news. Yeah.
Coming up very soon, we have Emerald City Comic Con, which is going to be the 18th of August through the 21st. If you don't know what Emerald City Comic Con is, you're watching the wrong podcast.
Is that it?
That's it. I hope you have
I'm
more.
going to detail what happens there. There's comics, there's games usually on a floor, there's people you can meet, and you either pay to get a picture or pay to get a signature or both. I've not actually been because I don't like large groups of people. I like about 1,500 people. So even though I do have the shirt on.
Yeah. All right. Well, don't forget we got Dragonflight coming up.
Dragonflight coming up.
Talking about because this episode we're talking to Amy Gambala from Dragonflight.
Dragonflight's going to be August 26th through 28th. You can still, as you're going to find out, get your room, get your badge, sign up to host a game, sign up to volunteer. They really need that. They've got a new fun category of volunteer that we're going to save for the actual interview, which would be super cool to get a free badge. So check that out at dragonflight.org. And then the weekend after that, we've got PAX. PAX is video games.
With some tabletop. There's some tabletop.
We got some tabletop there. Yeah, I've actually been to PAX. That's like 45,000 people, and that made me really uncomfortable because, I panic. That's PAX in Seattle, PAX Prime. We don't call it West on this podcast. It's PAX Prime. It's September 2nd through 5th. And if they get mad, they can send me a cease and desist order.
All right.
I can tell them how to do that. I've sent you several.
Exactly. Well,
and
don't be standing outside your house staring at your windows.
Oh my God.
And of course, we're always schlepping for OrcaCon. So OrcaCon website.
OrcaCon happens January. Do you know when?
It's in January.
January 6th through 8th.
Well,
Yes.
he wasn't wrong.
It's at the I almost said Las Vegas Hilton. It's at the Bellevue Hilton.
Yeah.
Boy,
Don't go to
that
don't go
would
to
be
Las
something,
Vegas.
huh?
I am strongly
Woo.
thinking about going to the Las Vegas Hilton. So this mental problem that I have
That
Yeah.
will
soon. I gotta-
elevate OrcaCon to unspeakable levels.
So OrcaCon has an early bird registration through October 30th. It's going to be $60 for a 3-day badge for an adult, which is going to be great. Keep an eye on COVID parameters and stuff like that, because that's always constantly in flux, because that's the world we live in now. So I
Yeah.
can't answer those questions for you.
You might have to wear masks. You might not. I
Not.
don't know.
We'll
Right.
see. Monkey
So if you're thinking about getting a game, Rebeculous here has some suggestions with the game news. Rebecca.
Yes, I do. With all the time I've had to prepare for this, I actually found a couple games. This is a new one on Kickstarter. There's 24 days to go. This person, Scott Kane, created a board called Skate, Skate, like skateboarding, Skate. And it's kind of cool. It looks like your basic board game. Kind of looks a little Monopoly-ish, ovular Monopoly-ish. It's basically like the game of horse, but it's with skating. Instead of making shots with a basketball, you're landing tricks on your skateboard. In this case, you are saving your body, by landing tricks in the board game. So, skateboarder or not, everyone can play, even you, Blue Samurai. So it's been thoroughly thought out and tested like crazy to mimic a real life game of skate without a skateboard. It was designed to bring all skateboarders and non-skateboarders together to play a fun and interactive board game.
Gnarly.
And hopefully get non-skateboarders to pick up a real skateboard one day. I used to skateboard when I was a little one. I don't know if you all knew. I don't know if you can see. I had a pink fiberglass board. It was great.
Wow.
Anyway.
Back in Minnesota?
No, I used to live in California when I was a tyke also for 2 years.
Oh, I did not know that.
My dad moved around. We moved around a little bit. So yeah, Skate. I guess it's called Board Game of Skate. But Skate, if you look up Skate, it's really cool. It's really cool. I actually might check this out. This looks neat. 2 to 4 players, by the way, out of Huntington Beach, California. And then the only other one I really got a chance to look at is called Wonder Kids. Make music your native language is what it says under that, which is what piqued my interest. Over 80% of the people who want to learn to play the piano fail to read music. Raise your hands. Show of hands. That's me.
For people who have learned to play the piano?
Yes, exactly. I did take piano lessons when I was a kid. Still can't read music that well. So this is a unique concept. It was implemented in cooperation with piano pedagogues of the Mozarteum Salzburg, gaming specialists, concert pianists, and prodigies like Lang Lang, as well as experts from science and research of music.
Isn't Lang Lang a panda?
That's Ling Ling.
Oh,
Ling,
okay.
Ling, I don't know. But this game is created by Mario. I'm sorry, Mario. Iwasian. Still, Paul will put this up, and we'll be able to.
Yeah, send me a link.
You can pronounce his name for yourself. I'll send you a link. It's out of Vienna, Austria, and it is a highly innovative computer game with the goal of solving tasks and learning to play the piano without having to read music. According to the latest scientific findings, this is to be done according to the principle of learning the mother tongue. I'm not going to go into all of this, but for example, one of the exercises, the task is to lift balloons over an obstacle with the help of the keyboard and thus prevent the balloons from bursting. Intrigued? I am.
Yeah.
If you press the keys too strongly, too weakly, too early, or too late, the balloon will burst. This is not only to train the feeling of playing piano, but also the timing in a playful way. I remember my 3rd grade piano teacher told me I pounded on the keys too hard. I would have burst them balloons right off the bat.
Be a jazz pianist.
I like jazz hands, but so anyway, so yeah. Check it out. Wonder Kids. 43 days to go. If you want to put a little pledge into Kickstarter for that, I think I'm going to, because that looks really nifty. And that's what I have. That's what I have for y'all today.
That's
Wonder
great.
Kids and Skate.
All right, I got a little bit more, not much, but we got this is also on Kickstarter. It's Blood Red Mars by Ken Spencer. Basically, it's a 5e, so it's kind of using those rules, those D&D rules, but it's in space and it's in futuristic, I guess. So check that out. It's on. It's called Blood Red Mars.
Wow.
Could be fun. I don't know. Playing D&D rules in space, maybe on Mars, could be fun.
Like that Space Jam thing.
I like games
No.
that have blood in the title.
Sure. Star Realms: Rise of the Empire expansion is also up on Kickstarter. Check that out. Usually, I see some 40K stuff, but I don't see any 40K or fantasy Warhammer at all, which is very bizarre. Usually I see that. But I will tell you what, if you go on D&D Beyond, you can order Spelljammer Adventures in Space. It is coming out August 16th. And you should go to your local game store, by the way, and you should get that book.
It's the one with Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan.
Hey, speaking of books at your local game store, you want to show the audience
what
you showed me during the break?
Oh my God, he's gone.
He's lost in the mountains of. Oh, there he's back.
Here we go. Hold on.
You're gonna have to hold it up there because now what?
Hold on.
This is the magicalness of Blue Samurai.
Hold on.
Closer.
Hold on.
Farther.
Hold on. There you go.
There we go.
Radiant Citadel, baby.
That's very
Got this
radiant.
at my local game store.
Wow, that's super
should
radiant.
get
All
it.
right. Lots of
Very
purples
good.
and things.
You want to plug your game store?
Yeah, we
your
do.
head a little bit to your left.
I think his head is fine where it is. Oh.
Perfect. That's great.
A little more
Perfect.
to the left with
That's
your head.
right,
Keep
but
going.
That's still doing the good. That's still doing the job.
Keep
Put your
going.
background back up. Put your background back up.
Oh, keep moving your head to the left.
You're being counterproductive.
All right. Anyway,
Oh, and he's lost in the
I'm back.
mountains of Cascadia. Oh, there he is.
Anyway,
That's cool. That's cool.
No, I picked it up today, and I'm gonna go check it out. Open it up and find
Where'd you go?
out what
Did you go to Tim's
fun
store?
things I can do. No, I go to my local game store. So right here.
You want to give them a plug or not?
Games Plus. Go to it, Lake Stevens. Check it out.
Yep. Cool.
Or if you're in Edmonds, around the table, that's my local game
You
store.
can also get ice cream and beer.
Oh,
So
right.
I was thinking
beer and ice cream.
about games,
Okay.
game conventions,
Yeah.
and one of my favorites is Dragonflight.
Yes.
Is it one of your
It's
favorites?
one of my favorites.
It is. I believe you. You seem sincere.
It's 100% one of my favorites. So should we talk to Amy from
We
Dragonflight
should. We should.
right now?
Yes.
I concur.
Go. 3, 2, 1, go.
This segment of the podcast is sponsored by Dragonflight, a tabletop games convention dedicated to promoting the educational and social benefits of gaming in the Pacific Northwest.
Hey geeks, guess what? Guess who's back? Our friend of the podcast, Amy Gumbala. Hi.
Woo!
So, as you know, it's that time again. It's that time. Dragonflight's just around the corner, so we thought we'd bring in Amy and go talk to her all about Dragonflight. What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on?
No.
Okay, well, I'll start with the fun thing. Wait, so this is this year's art.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
great.
very nice. Very
So
nice.
that'll be the t-shirts for this year.
I'll be buying a
I
shirt.
cool.
like it. Okay.
That's fun.
Hey, I want you to know that I got my room, and
Good.
still Paul got his room.
I got my room. I
Did you
got my
get your
badge
badge
today.
yet?
Rebeculous.
I am always the last minute person. Don't take that away from me. Wow, that's really freaky. Back
frightening.
up.
Did you
Okay.
get your badge yet, though, Steve?
I-
Last I checked, you didn't have your badge in the system yet.
No, I prepaid. I still
Right,
have-
but I sent you an email about how to then get your badge with your pre-registration because I don't do it for you because I'm not your mom.
Amy, I'm a very busy person trying to keep my job. So
Oh
I don't
my
know.
gosh.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Fine, I'll do it.
He's
Thank
gonna be
you.
standing there in line. with the pain.
Feel sorry for me.
Uh-huh. I'll
So-
do it.
So, Amy, how do you feel about this convention coming up?
You know, I was doing okay until right after Emerald City, and they announced that they were stealing my weekend.
Oh,
Yeah,
No.
we were originally the weekend that Emerald City is now, so I had to change my weekend. We had to shift by a week
okay.
because I can't go up against Emerald City. Oh my
No.
God. Not least of which because a number of my staff members also work Emerald City.
Wow.
So it makes it very difficult. So that was not fun. And I don't know, we're just going to see. I mean, we're going to have a con. I don't know how big it'll be. We ended up with just over 500 last year, which
That's
was
good.
great. I was
Yeah.
totally happy about that. I mean, our normal numbers are in, about 1,000, but I figured, but half of that was great coming back off the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I was, this year I was like, conservatively, I was like, well, maybe we'll go 5, maybe 7. And then Emerald City announced and we had to move. And I'm like, okay, so what's going to happen? So I was still hoping for about 5. But right now, I mean, we're hovering right around, I think we're just under 300 badges right now sold.
That's good.
Yeah, that's great.
It's behind where it should be, even for last year. So we're pushing real hard to get people in the system. We're going to have a price bump the end of July 28th. So in 8 days, price is going to go up to 60.
I always get my badges.
Yeah.
There.
So people should, buy now because it's going to go up. But
well, are you worried about the black market tickets, the scalpers?
For Dragonflight? I wish that was a concern, really and truly. That'd be awesome. No. We're also, we're having to bang really hard on the drum to try to get people to put games in the system. We're behind where we need to be on that as well. And I don't know if it's a combination of, it's probably a combination of things. It's, now all of a sudden you've got Emerald City, Dragonflight, and then PAX, like 3 weekends in a row, right?
Wow.
So local people are like, okay, which one am I going to? You have other things that factor into that, like the mask mandate situation, or mask requests, I guess, masking requests, requirements. So Emerald City came out and decided they're no longer requiring masking. So there are a couple gaming groups that decided not to do Emerald City because they're not asking people to mask.
Okay.
Dragonflight is still falling on the other side of that. We're still requiring masking while you're in the convention spaces at the hotel. Mostly because my staff asked that we continue to do that this year. And I'm fine with that. That's great. Then we have groups who decided not to come to Dragonflight because they don't want to wear their masks. So we kind of got this.
You can't win.
No, you can't. And by next year, I think we're going to be out of it, and it will be strictly a personal preference kind of a situation, whatever your comfort level is. But right now, we're just kind of on the tail end of that. And
do you still have to be vaccinated?
Yes.
That's okay.
That's so pretty much standard across the board, as far as I can tell. People, I don't know if Emerald City's checking vaccination status this year. I haven't checked, but I know Norwestcon did, and they required masking. So our policy has been updated on the website for this year, and we are still requiring proof of vaccination.
And if anyone wants to check, it's dragonflight.org is the website. Again, the convention is August 26th to the 28th at the Bellevue Hilton. Amy, what else is talk to me about what you got going on, what the rooms are, and what's going on?
We're shifting some stuff around this year. The auction, which normally has intake downstairs in King County, we're moving that all up to the 3rd floor. So they did the actual auction in Skyview Ballroom, which is on 2nd floor. Sorry. So this year they're going to do the intake on one of the other rooms on that level. So they're right there by Skyview. We got a lot of nice feedback about having the auction in Skyview on Sunday. So we're going to continue that again this year. We have the King County rooms have all been lumped into one. So Pathfinder is going to be in there. We've been going back and forth trying to get some D&D going. Also in that space. It's been rough. Adventures League's having, a lot of the groups are having issues and staffing problems, and so it's trying to get that up and running has been difficult. But we're still going to have the Alexandria Game Library will be there with their vintage RPG library.
Cool.
And we are doing the individual RPG rooms again this year, like we did last year, for RPGs that are not Pathfinder or the large D&D.
Okay.
That seemed to work out really well last year. People being able to have their RPG and not have to be seated right next to another table and then trying to deal with noise, and
Yeah.
we're talking, we can't hear ourselves because they're loud. And
Are those individual rooms? Is that what that is, or is that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, they're the hotel moves out the beds and puts a table in the room for us.
Cool.
Oh, how many of those do you have?
We have 10, but we probably won't use all 10. Right now, we've only got space reserved in 7 of them thus far.
Okay.
And the 7 is only during that like max usage time, which I think right now is the Saturday evening portion. So, it'll be that we drop down just like we did last year. We had like 10 on Friday and Saturday, and then, or 10 on Friday, and then we drop down on Saturday, and then again on Sunday we drop down. Just depending on how much usage. So they're not open gaming spaces necessarily, although they're available if there's nothing scheduled in there at the time.
Cool.
And it's not non-D&D?
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to get, I think there might be a couple of D&D things in there, but we were trying to, our original hope was to have both Pathfinder and Adventurers League running, and then we were going to do the King County 1, 2, and 3 take down the air walls, and half of the tables in there were Pathfinder and half were Adventurers League. But again, we haven't had a whole lot of luck getting the Adventurers League stuff dealt with.
Yeah.
So it's possible that, we're gonna, I was trying to keep the stuff in the individual gaming rooms, non-Pathfinder, non-D&D.
Right.
Although I'm not adverse to putting D&D in one of those rooms, especially if you're running a non-5th edition game, game. So, it's kind of a nebulous. It kind of goes back and forth depending on what we have room for and where we need space and that kind of thing.
And where's the merchants hall going to be? Can you let us know who's
same as normal? It'll be in the first salon of the grand ballroom down on the lower level. Same place it's always been. Although we have a handful of vendors who are also in the ballroom around the perimeter.
Okay.
Cool.
Any ones we know, or same folks?
Let's see. Thing 12 Games, Dragonstorm, Mabel by Design, Arcana Miniatures, Art by Erica Hines, a game of Threads.
Yeah.
Round a table.
Yeah, Geek Extravaganza has a table. Zuccotti, yes. Okay. Gosh, I'm trying to remember here.
No, you don't have to know all of it. That's okay.
No, this is the problem. I just should already be in my brain without having to think about it. But hang on, I can find the information here. Let me look. There we go.
Blue Samurai, why don't you run a D&D game in one of the big big rooms there?
One long straight road you can't turn off of.
That's right. And also, that's not true. That was only true at the first game.
We've got space, so I'm happy to have anybody put some stuff in the system, because we definitely have room for it.
Maybe early on Saturday, right before Car Wars. Is there a Car Wars in there?
We're supposed to. He told me he was going to put it in the system. Still not in the system either.
Oh wow.
Okay, here we go. Arcana Miniatures, Around the Table, Art by Erica, Beauty and Geek, Chibi Yeti, Dragonstorm Sports, Flying Frog will be there. and they're going to be promoting Dice Fest, which is their new convention, that it will be in October at the Bellevue Hilton. Game of Threads, Geek Extravaganza, Mabel by Design, Oops, We Broke the Multiverse, which is a podcast group.
Okay.
They're actually going to do a live podcast.
Ooh, are our feathers getting ruffled, you guys?
Ooh, I don't like it. I don't like
Wow.
Well,
those
no, it's like a
people
live role playing. They play an actual game.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, they're
well,
okay.
same.
They're cool.
Talk about
We
doing
just
it.
haven't done that yet. We just talk about it every week.
That's their thing, is doing that. Pie Slice Dice. They're new for us this year. Stonehouse Games Plus, Tanstoffel Press is an author. Thing 12 Games, Vernon Wells, Weird Works, and Zuccotti.
Cool.
That's everybody.
That
A to
is
Z.
cool. That's
Oh.
cool.
I was
Nice.
going through your schedule. Is there a Boffer tournament?
No,
Oh,
there
goodness.
isn't. I'm trying to figure out how to deal with that. So, Chris, the Boffer tourney was run by the Foam Sword Parties, which was Chris Ewick's business.
Yeah.
Chris Ewick, and he passed away a couple years
That's
ago.
right.
I believe his wife is still running the company, but we used to trade services. So we
Okay.
gave Chris space in the dealer room, and he ran Boffer attorneys for us. So that agreement is no longer valid because, as
Yeah.
far as I know, they're not doing vending at conventions. And so it's kind of like this whole, it's up in the air. I mean, I would love to have them back and do it, but I don't know who's doing their stuff now.
Yeah.
I don't have contact info, and I don't know if it's directly to Donna. And also, it puts us in the position where it's something we're going to have to pay for now.
Oh,
And I'm trying not to spend as much money this year
believe me, I understand your position.
because of our lower attendance. Like, I had the opportunity to have a live, like a kind of a choose your own adventure RPG group come, and they do like a whole presentation. They contacted me. They're out of LA, but between the price to have them come and all of that stuff, it was like, I can't do it this year. There's just no way.
No.
And it's like we had the mini golf last year. We can't do that again because that's also an expense that is like extra. So it's like I'm trying to do as much as I can while trying to protect us budgetarily at the same time. Because I don't know how many. I mean, we could get to the weekend of the convention and we could end up with 500 badges.
Yeah.
People could decide at the last minute that they're going to come, but there's no way to know that. And truthfully, right now, I have slightly less than 200 games in the system right now.
Yeah.
And last year we ran just over 300. So I'm behind on games in the system. I need to get more games in as well.
Are you expecting Playtest Northwest to show up?
I am, yes. I've been in touch with them. They are not doing Emerald City because Emerald City dropped their masking requirement.
Okay.
She wanted to confirm that we were still requiring masking before she was willing to commit to us. And I said, yes, we are. And so she said, okay, cool.
That's cool.
But that's all I've heard. I haven't heard anything else from her about what games they want to run or what games they're putting in the system or anything like that. So like I said, we're working on, I've got a new marketing person who just came on with us. And so we're working on weekly emails to go out to folks to let them know what's going on, kind of. We've got a specific email going out to all the folks who ran games last year to say, hey, come put your games in the system. We have space. Please come run things. We're trying to let people know about, options for people who want to volunteer, but they don't necessarily want to give up their whole weekend if they're not game runner people. Like some people that the whole running a game is not really their wheelhouse. They want to play, but they don't really want to be in charge of running the game.
That was my question. What volunteer opportunities
have I got a
still available
opportunity for you? So there's always opportunities to help with the library, the game library, at registration, just general volunteering, runners, people who need to, we need people to run around and deliver game sheets to the GMs. One of the big things though, that is kind of new, it's not new, but we've given it a name this year is our schlepper colony.
Very descriptive.
That's great.
So, you know, you got to move in and you got to move out, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to. Last year, it was pretty much me and my husband. We loaded the truck at storage and we took it all down. And then we're the ones that unloaded it on the other end, both in the rain, by the way, because it was October. No fun. So, and I think people forget that those outside volunteer opportunities count toward those 10 hours to get your free badge. So I am in need of a schlepper colony. I need people who are willing to move boxes. So basically it's, you show up on Wednesday at the storage unit and you help us load the truck. And then on Thursday, you show up at the hotel and help us unload and take everything to the correct location. And then you're free to game all weekend. And
right
then
on
Sunday, you help pack and bring everything back to the truck. And then you come back to the storage unit and you unload the truck.
Schlep in reverse schlepping. That's
exactly.
great.
And the more people we have, the quicker it goes.
Yeah.
That's right up my alley.
So that's the new, and I'm trying to push that is, and we gave it a funny name, and you know,
careful, don't offend the leper colony.
Oh yeah,
come on now.
Yes, I'm not worried about that. We're working on t-shirts for the schlepper colony.
Oh, wow. Special prize.
It's very own thing. It's like, you know, it is, they're part of the volunteer group, but they're their own thing. So I'm trying to really kind of push that and get people to understand that there are things they can do outside of the weekend of Dragonflight that will earn them the hours they need to get their free badges.
Cool. You know, Blue Samurai got to experience that at OrcaCon this year for the first time.
What do you mean, lifting things?
Lifting and carrying things and moving.
He did not. He did not.
I did. I always help out.
Do you know?
Yeah. I did.
We always need help in the auction. I've still got staff positions I'd love to fill if people are looking for ongoing jobs to be a part of.
Paul,
Play
still
to
Paul.
Win. Play to win is one of those, running the play to win. You know, there's always stuff that needs to be done. And it's not always glamorous, but it's necessary.
That's how it works.
So yeah. I got lucky last year. I had it was really interesting. I had 5 different people come up to me at the con itself and say, how do I get involved?
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm
is that too late in the game for people to do that?
No,
I mean, it's not ideal. Probably.
No, seriously, if you get people who are there who are like, give me what do you need?
Yeah.
Great. I have a volunteer coordinator who will put you to work. Especially during load in and load out. I mean, those are big deals. I mean, when we, for our load in, it's getting everything where it needs to go. We cover all the tables with paper to protect from, because some of them have really sharp edges, and we've had people get cut on those hotel tables.
Yeah.
Jeez, really?
Well, they just get thrown around and the metal gets bent on the edges, and they're not pretty tables that they're putting out. So there's signs to be hung, and there's so there's a million things that need bodies to do.
Yeah, and all at once.
Nice.
Right all at one time. And then there's me kind of pulling out my hair trying to make sure it's all getting done, and figuring out what did we miss this year, and that kind of thing. So last minute presenting yourself to the volunteer desk and going, what can I do to help, is great.
Yeah.
But there's also the stuff that happens, as you guys know, on the off time, and people forget about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's always things to do, and I don't think it's too time consuming throughout the rest of the year. It's it's a meeting every month, and then when we get closer, it's like every 2 weeks. But you don't have to necessarily be at all the meetings, depending on what job you're fulfilling, and some require a little more time, some little less, but it's mostly computer work for a lot of it throughout the year, in terms of advertising, and it's sending out, it's marketing stuff, and it's social media contact, and it's it's all of that kind of thing. It's talking to vendors and recruiting and back and forth, and doing all that kind of thing.
How have you improved on the art of delegation since you first started doing all this? Were you I'm going to do it all myself person at first, and
Oh,
then you
yeah.
realize that it's
Well, I mean, I'm
impossible?
always kind of like that because I'm like, this needs to happen and it's not happening, so I'm just going to deal with it. It's part of the problem of it all exists here.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to get it on paper and trying to get it down so people could do it without me. I've been very fortunate. I have a great staff. I mean, they're all awesome folks. And 2 or 3 years ago, at Dragonflight, I had came down with a migraine on Saturday morning.
Oh,
And I was like, I'm really sorry. I need to take meds and go back to sleep. Let me know if you guys need anything. And a couple hours later, I was up and able to get up and go downstairs and everything. And I came into the lobby down by registration, and they looked at me and went, "What are you doing here? Go back to bed."
yeah.
I'm like,
Awesome.
You're like, okay, great.
so,
Amy, are you-
I have a great group of folks who are completely capable of handling everything without me, which is awesome.
So, Amy, are you
So
gonna have a community row? Like, will we see like folks like Game to Grow there? I think you had some.
I haven't heard from Game to
Wizards
Grow.
showed up too.
Games to Grow has been kind of in and out of contact. The last time I talked to them was last year, and they still weren't doing any convention stuff based on the COVID situation. So
Okay.
I haven't talked to them since then. But I've got Flying Frog, Geek Extravaganza, Vernon Wells. I think that's it.
You had Wizards last time. Are they going back to conventions as well?
Wizards?
Didn't
Wizards
you
of the
have
Coast?
Yeah. Then you had they were like their no? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
It's confusing when all the cons you go to are at the same hotel.
I know. Well, I've had people stop me at OrcaCon and ask me a question. I'm like, this is not
I
my
don't know.
convention. This is the right hotel, wrong convention.
So you know what?
Hazards
lot,
of the job.
a lot of people that show up. One thing they're going to be concerned about is parking. So
Free, just
free
like always.
parking. That's great.
But,
That's good to
the
hear.
garage, is the garage still there?
Or is that taken down?
Well, I mean, there's
Yeah.
like the little underground area, but most people park, just on the surface lot.
Yeah.
Why would the garage not be there?
Yeah,
They're taking it down.
No, they're not yet.
Okay.
They're
At some point.
Stop panicking.
Well, I'm sorry. Panic is my nature.
No, this has been so.
It's his middle name.
The whole thing with the changes with the Red Lion and the remodels and all that, this has been a conversation that's been going on for a good 10 years now.
Oh,
First
wow.
of all.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we started talking about this. This is 10 years ago. They were talking about this. So this is not when this all came out, when the article was published, everybody freaked out. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is not new news. This is not. And I went to Elaine, and we have contracts at the hotel for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
We're already contracted for the next 2 years. And I imagine after this year, they're probably going to push us to contract for an additional year.
Yeah.
So I went to Elaine, my salesperson, and I said, do I need to be concerned about, has anything changed? And she's like, no.
Okay.
They're starting with the Red Lion first. My assumption is that they'll raise the Red Lion to put up what they're going to put up. And then I suspect we will end up moving the convention to the Red Lion for a time being, because they're putting in meeting space and whatever, while then the Hilton is being dealt with.
Wow.
I don't know any of this for certain. None of this is, I have not had any specific conversations with the hotel. This is just my thinking that would be kind of in my mind how it would work out.
Okay.
But it doesn't sound like it's anything to worry about, at least probably for a couple of years. People are like, no, they're going to tear it down. I'm like, yeah, maybe in like 3 or 4 years. I'm like, with the city of Bellevue, and I'm like, you're dealing with the government. They're it's going to take a while. They're not going to raise the Red Lion and the Hilton and spend 3 years rebuilding both of them because then that's no income, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
for now, people look, people, you don't have to worry about it. Just go.
Oh yeah.
Go Dragonflight.org and get your ticket.
Aside from the fact that it's certainly not going to happen before the convention this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm looking
the
at
Hilton. During the pandemic, they turned the top floor of the Hilton, the 10th floor, where all the executive suites are. They turned all but 2 of those into long-term apartments basically
Oh,
for executives. So because that's how they managed. I mean, that's realistically how they made a lot of their money over the pandemic, was turning those into resident suites basically.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
wow.
So
Wow.
they're not in any hurry to not have that income,
Yeah.
Right.
obviously.
And speaking of hotel rooms, so just to let everyone know, I'm going on there now. Rooms are still available. I'm looking at right now a king bedroom, $144.
And did you
Two
navigate
queens,
through
160.
dragonflight.org to get to those prices?
You go the link on the Dragonflight website or through tabletop, it should
Yeah.
take you right to the correct.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
go directly to the Hilton.com. Go to
No.
dragonflight.org.
Right. And as I was saying, with the Dragonflight 2022 rates,
Mhm.
2 queen beds, 164,
Yeah.
1 king bed on the high floor if you like a little bit of privacy, $164, and 2 queen beds on the high floor, which I got $184. So
Oh, what
you
room
get
number
it
are
now.
you in, Blue Samurai? What's your room number? Come on.
I don't
You won't
know.
know
All I
until you
know
get
is I'm
there.
on the high floor.
The view of the freeway.
with the executives. Wow.
That's
Well,
right.
that's the 10th floor, but
Yeah.
yeah, but so I do know that I don't know how many rooms we have left in the block. I do know that we at this point have 255 room nights reserved
Good.
for the con as a whole. So we've more than made our threshold.
Yeah, you
That's
gotta
But I
book.
don't know what that translates to actual rooms still available.
Well, book soon because otherwise, because I've been there, I've seen it where they've all been booked, right, Rebeculus? So make
Oh,
sure you
yes.
book the room right after this.
Absolutely.
Does
Yep.
happen.
Right after this.
I'm
Yeah.
on it. I'm on it.
Yeah. So I mean, there's we've got stuff going on. We're probably gonna do the scavenger hunt again this year. We've got Robo Rally happening.
Oh, Robo Rally.
You
I
know,
love Robo Rally.
there's lots of games in the system, but we still need more. One of the other things we're planning on doing is we're gonna make the game library inventory list available to
Cool.
everyone, with the idea that some of the games. I want people to come and run games, but oftentimes people don't want to bring their private copy of a game, which is completely understandable, right? You don't
Yeah.
want something bad to happen to it. You don't want it to disappear, whatever. Well, we have a lot of games in the game library. So our hope is that we can say, hey, if there's a game here that you want to run, but you don't want to bring your own copy, all you have to do is let us know, and let us know when you're scheduling that in the system, and we'll hold it so you can check it out at the right time. We'll make sure it's
Cool.
available for you. Basically a reservation system for the library games if you're going to be running, if you're going to run something. During the pandemic, I bought a lot of games for the library. So I have a lot of stuff that you can't even get because they never released it retail. It was only a Kickstarter thing.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff that's big games, like that you necessarily wouldn't want to trot along, like Foundations of Rome,
No.
Perseverance, Castaway Chronicles, another giant box, stuff like that. So then you can then we'll have it so you can reserve it and run it instead of having to bring your own copy from home.
Cool.
Which I'm hoping will make it a little easier for folks to run some stuff.
Well, fantastic. And we'll be there. Geeks of Cascadia will be there. We'll
Of
be
course.
doing what we normally do, and that is let everyone know what's going on the day after, or no, the next day. So
Yes.
You're gonna
our
do
goal is to do a podcast each day, and then let people know they can just kind of tune in, and we're like your audio audio guide. There you go.
There you go. So do you need a space?
Why, yes,
Set
we
aside a
do.
space for you? Okay. I mean, unless, like, I know last year you guys were in the hallway out behind the King County rooms.
Yeah.
If that
They
works
love
for
the
you,
hallway.
that's great. But if you don't want that, we can find you a different spot to camp out in.
Ooh, thank
Cool.
you.
That was
You're
okay.
so
We
nice
like-
to us.
We like
You
a little
are.
more privacy, right? We like a little
Well,
little
usually I
room
go
if
podcast
possible,
with my
right?
pants.
Depends how much privacy do you want. I mean, I can give you I can put you up in Chelan behind the bar. That's about as private as you can possibly get. But that's out of the realm of, that's like off the beaten track. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But we'll find some place for you guys.
Cool. So now if people want to schedule a game or an event or something, they need to buy a badge through tabletop.events.
Yeah, well, tabletop's set up kind of funky. In order to, you can put a game in the system without buying a badge first.
You can't join a game.
But you can't sign up to be in a game unless you have a badge. You also can't show up at the convention and run your game without a badge. So you may as well just buy your badge. But
buy a badge.
Exactly. So, but if you go to, you can get to tabletop through the dragonflight.org website.
Yeah.
If there's a link there, and buy your badge, and then it has where you click to submit a game, and then it comes for approval, and then I approve it, and then it has to be assigned to a space. And once it's assigned to a space and scheduled, then the seats in the game become available for people to sign up for.
When you want to play a game, you go to tabletop events and then fish through and see what you want to play.
Yeah.
Or you just crash it like I usually do. If you're lucky and it's not full.
There's a couple ways. So you go to the table, you go to tabletop and you look at what games are available, because we're doing the same thing we did last year, which is we have dropped the 25% hold on seats in a game.
Okay.
Because when all of the registration for game seats used to take place behind the scenes, it wasn't a big deal. But when people can see on tabletop that there are 8 seats and there are 6 people signed up, but those 2 seats for some reason are not available.
Yeah.
I get a lot of questions where I have to repeatedly answer that we hold. So we dropped that last year, and I had way less complaints than I've had about holding. So we're doing that again. All the seats in the game are available at this point prior to the convention.
Ooh.
So you can within tabletop, it's called buying a ticket, not reserving.
I find that a little bit confusing.
Well, it's because they're set up so that in certain conventions you can sell a ticket to a game, which works great when you're doing an outside tournament, like Kings of War or something, where they need to pay an additional amount, which then helps support the prizes.
Yeah.
But for everything else, it's a zero deal. So you're buying a ticket, but it's not going to cost you anything.
When do the prices go up again?
The badge price is going to go up on the 28th.
Okay, so as of right now, $720. Just letting folks know, really good prices. A 3-day full access adult, $55. Great. I mean, low dollar amount, and you're having lots of fun. They've got single days, but why would you want to do that? You do the full weekend, damn it.
Get around.
Do the full weekend. Quit being cheap. Just go. Do the whole thing. And then get online and at dragonflight.org, and then click on their link to the hotel so you can get a room, because, look, you get there, you're having fun, you're with your friends, maybe you drank a couple beers or 2.
You have a water
get
bottle.
on the road. Just go ahead and sleep in your room. Or go find Still Paul. He'll actually have an extra bed.
He'll be stumbling around somewhere.
There you go.
That's right. I'm bringing my kids, so I have no room in my room.
All 3?
No, just 2 of them. Just 2. Okay. Yeah, and one of them's going to bring their friend.
Oh, all right.
So 3, basically 3.
Yeah.
3.
3, and they're not really kids anymore.
Well, that's true.
Full-grown adults.
I know.
That's right.
It's wrong
Right.
on every respect.
Smell, and they fart, and it's just gross, and they snort. It's awful.
Yeah, I know how that works. My oldest is he's gonna be 22 next month. So
Is he going?
he goes and he works. He tends to volunteer.
Good kid.
Excellent.
Good kid.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, let's. Anyone have anything else before we
I
let?
think we hit all the points here.
Great.
Nope.
Yeah.
Amy, thanks a lot. We
Thank you
always
so much,
enjoy
Amy.
having you on the show.
Of course. I can't break the streak, man. Gotta keep it going.
That's right. So anyway, thank you, Amy, and everyone out there. You're going to see us. Look for our giant banner. Hopefully, we got to find that thing because we got to drag it out.
It's right here in this room.
Kind of small.
Somewhere in this room.
Right, it's right
That's
there.
how big it is.
That's right.
Can't even find it in his 9x9 room.
Right there.
Okay.
All right. Take care, Amy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
That is fun. It's always fun to talk to Amy, don't you guys think?
Oh, yes.
I think we need to get her a badge or a patch or coat or something because she's been on our podcast so much.
Yeah.
Or a coat, a Geeks of Cascadia coat. I'm sure she'll wear it everywhere.
Yes.
One of these days we'll get that.
One of these days.
One of these days we'll actually be a little more organized and have a better, I don't know, what do you call that
Yeah,
thing?
this is our sponsor, Blue A Train.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
/ Geeks of Cascadia / 10% off / wait, no, this is fake.
We do need more swag. We need some coasters and some hats and some stuff that we can give our many, many fans.
That's right. Coasters. Yeah.
But one thing we haven't stopped doing is playing D&D.
That's right.
That's true.
Doing our adventure there. Was it Under Mountain? Waterdeep Under Mountain.
Is that where we're at right now? Yeah.
Yeah. Mad Mage. Yeah.
Where I lost my beast companion. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was super sad.
Robert Palmer.
Yeah, we've been wanting to do a review of that adventure, but we have been going. Man, that adventure's been lasting forever.
Still in it. It
Still
keeps going and going.
Adventure. I like it. We're going all the way to 20, man.
We'll see. We almost died a couple weeks ago, but then I killed the dragon.
No, we let you kill us.
Yeah, sure.
Not lying.
Sure, that's how.
Does anyone really kill a dragon by themselves? Still, Paul.
I did.
It's team. It's group effort.
I did. So.
I know I didn't help with that one.
But we're having a fun time with that. I'd like to go back to your adventure, Paul, but I don't know what happened. It all kind of fell apart.
Well, we started playing this adventure. I was the fill-in DM.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. And Rebecula still needs to run us
Descent to Avernus. Avernus? Is it Avernus or is it Avernus? Please tell me once and for all. Are you positive?
Send us an email, geeksofcascadia@gmail.com. Tell us how to pronounce
the other thing I wanted to do is I want to run us back on the adventure I was running you guys through.
Yeah, that was great. I love my character in that.
Oh yeah, what the heck were we doing? What was my character in that? Is that where I'm Winco?
We were rescuing you, remember? We were rescuing you.
Oh no, I'm a Aasimar. I'm a Scourge Aasimar, aren't I?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure if we were actually all of us were trying to rescue her.
I know y'all didn't really give a poop that I was like
Some
down
of us
in
were kind of
some
indifferent.
dungeon. Thanks. I'll remember that.
You gotta play your character.
What?
You have to play your character. If my character is indifferent to your survival, that's what
Love how every time you're an a-hole, you're like, I'm playing my character.
That chaotic neutral alignment.
Exactly.
Your cornhole.
Well,
that's your alignment.
I don't think I have anything else. Maybe we should just.
I don't have anything else. I can tell you, I didn't want to complain about it actually being warm after it being 50 degrees for 6 months, but it's a little hot this room.
Oh yes. Well, I mean, talk to the people in the UK right now. I'm sure they'd like to hear how warm you are in your room.
Maybe if they would have prepared better.
Oh,
maybe put in tarmac that doesn't melt.
They prepared by living in a continent surrounded by the sea for the most part, but yeah, I saw that all their street lights and roads are melting and whatnot. Oh dear, it's a travesty.
Oh,
it is.
No.
Please. You don't care for me accent?
No. We don't want any of that. Lynn will never talk to us.
I think I sound properly British. No. All right.
Lynn will never talk to us again.
She will. She won't talk to me. Probably.
That's right. She'll talk to the lads.
Yes, she'll talk to the lads. She won't talk to me because she probably doesn't want to talk to someone from her hometown.
All right. Well, this show is going off the rails, so I'm going to sign off with Embrace the Nerd, and I hope you make that saving throw.
Yeah, me too.
Oh.